After 60, your words carry the weight of wisdom or regret. Discover 6 phrases that silently damage your relationships and how to replace them with words that connect, heal, and empower. Have you ever said something to a loved one, only to see their face fall or feel a conversation drift into awkward silence? It's a moment we've all experienced, and as we age, those moments can feel even more significant. Words carry weight, especially in our golden years, when we're seeking connection, respect, and understanding from those around us. If you're over 60, you've likely noticed how the way you express yourself can shape how others listen or don't. The truth is, some phrases we use, often without thinking, can push people away, make us feel dismissed, or even weaken the bonds we cherish. But here's the good news: with a little mindfulness, you can choose words that open hearts and build bridges instead. As we age, our relationships with family, friends, or even caregivers become more precious than ever. Yet, it's easy to fall into habits of speech that don't serve us well. Maybe it's a phrase that sounds negative, or one that makes others tune out. Today, we're going to explore 6 phrases you'll want to avoid in your conversations, because they can keep you from being truly heard and understood. These are phrases that might seem harmless but can close doors instead of opening them. By swapping them out for kinder, clearer ways of speaking, you'll strengthen your connections and feel more valued in every interaction. Let's dive into the first one, a phrase I've heard too many times at family gatherings: things were better before. It's so tempting to say this, isn't it? When you're reminiscing about the good old days, maybe the music of the 60s, the way neighborhoods felt safer, or how life seemed simpler, it's easy to sigh and say, things were better before. I caught myself saying this at a recent dinner with my grandkids, waxing poetic about rotary phones and handwritten letters. But then I noticed their eyes glaze over, and the conversation stalled. That phrase, while nostalgic, can make younger people feel like you're dismissing their world. It creates a divide, suggesting that nothing today measures up, and it can make you sound stuck in the past, which isn't how you want to be seen. The problem with things were better before is that it shuts down connection. It signals to others that you're not open to their experiences or the present moment. Over time, it can make family or friends less likely to share their stories because they feel you won't relate. Instead, try something like, I love how things have changed, but I do miss some parts of the past, like, and then share a specific memory. This invites others to join in, maybe sharing their own stories or asking about yours. Now, let's move to another phrase that can slip out, especially when you're feeling frustrated or unheard: nobody cares what I think. Oh, I've been there. I remember saying this during a family discussion about holiday plans, feeling like my suggestions were being ignored. But the moment those words left my mouth, I saw my daughter's face tighten, and the room got quiet. That phrase doesn't just express frustration, it builds a wall. It assumes the worst of others, suggesting they're indifferent to you, and it can make them defensive or pull away entirely. When you say nobody cares what I think, you're not just venting, you're signaling that you feel invisible, which can make others unsure how to respond. It's a conversation ender, not a starter. Instead, try expressing your feelings directly and inviting input. For example, you could say, I'd really love to share my thoughts on this, can we talk about it? This approach is honest but opens the door for dialogue. Not only did they listen, but we ended up blending my ideas with theirs. It made me feel valued, and it kept us connected. Let's keep going, because there are a few more phrases that can slip into our speech and create distance instead of connection. By recognizing them and choosing better ways to express ourselves, we can keep our relationships strong and our voices clear. The next phrase is one I've heard and said more times than I'd like to admit, especially when I'm feeling a bit stubborn: I've always done it this way. This one sneaks out when someone suggests a new way of doing something, doesn't it? Maybe your son recommends a smartphone app for managing appointments, or a friend suggests a different route to the grocery store. It's so easy to respond with, I've always done it this way, thinking you're just defending your routine. The trouble with I've always done it this way is that it closes the door on collaboration. It can make younger family members or friends hesitant to offer help or share new ideas, which means you might miss out on easier, better ways to do things. Plus, it can reinforce a stereotype that older adults are set in their ways, which isn't the vibrant, open-minded person you are. Instead, try something like, "I'm used to doing it this way, but I'd love to hear more about your idea." This shows respect for your own experience while inviting others to contribute. Now, let's talk about a phrase that can slip out when you're feeling overwhelmed or undervalued. "I'm too old for this." It feels like a lighthearted way to brush off something challenging, but it's a phrase that can backfire. I noticed this when I jokingly said it at a family game night, and my daughter gave me a sad smile, like I was counting myself out. That phrase doesn't just excuse you from trying, it can make others see you as less capable or less interested in life, and it might even convince you to limit yourself. When you say, "I'm too old for this," you're putting up a barrier, signaling that you're not open to new experiences or growth. It can make loved ones stop inviting you to try things, thinking you're not up for it, and that's the last thing you want. Instead, try a phrase that keeps the door open, like, "This is new for me, but I'll give it a try," or "Can you show me how this works?" This shows curiosity and resilience, qualities that keep you engaged with the world. Let's keep going, because every word you choose is a chance to be heard and understood. It's inspiring to see how much we can change just by choosing our words with care, especially in our later years when connection is everything. Let's dive into the next phrase, one that can feel like a reflex when things don't go your way. "It's not my fault." This phrase often pops up when something goes wrong, maybe a misunderstanding with a family member or a mix-up with a doctor's appointment. It's natural to want to defend yourself, to point out that you didn't cause the problem. I said this once when my son was upset about a missed family event, blaming me for not reminding him. My knee-jerk response was, "It's not my fault, you should have checked the date." But instead of clearing the air, it made him pull back, and we didn't talk for the rest of the day. That phrase doesn't just deflect blame, it can make others feel attacked or dismissed, turning a small issue into a bigger rift. When you say, "It's not my fault," you're focusing on who's to blame rather than solving the problem or understanding each other. It can make loved ones feel like you're not willing to take responsibility or work together, which weakens trust. Instead, try a phrase that acknowledges the situation and invites collaboration, like, "I'm sorry this happened, let's figure out how to fix it." This shows empathy and keeps the conversation constructive. Now, let's talk about one last phrase that can quietly undermine your voice. "Whatever, it doesn't matter." This one often comes out when you're feeling tired, dismissed, or just done with a conversation. I've said it myself, like when my friend kept pushing for me to join a book club, and I was feeling overwhelmed. I sighed, "Whatever, it doesn't matter," thinking it would end the discussion. But instead, she looked hurt, and I realized I'd made her feel like her effort didn't count. That phrase might seem like a way to avoid conflict, but it can signal that you're giving up or don't care, which can make others stop trying to engage with you. When you say "whatever, it doesn't matter," you're shutting down the conversation and, in a way, diminishing yourself. It can make loved ones think you're not interested in their ideas or feelings, and over time, they might stop reaching out. Instead, try expressing your feelings honestly while keeping the door open, like, "I'm not sure about this right now, but I appreciate you asking. Can we talk more later?" This shows you value the interaction, even if you're not ready to dive in. By choosing words that invite dialogue, show openness, and express care, you're not just improving conversations, you're strengthening the bonds that make life rich. Your voice is powerful, and in your golden years, it deserves to shine. Which of these phrases surprised you most? Maybe you've caught yourself saying one and didn't realize its impact. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share what you're taking away or how you will use these tips to spark better conversations. If this video has resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more ways to live fully and connect deeply. I'll see you in the next video.